you know English. You study hard. You remember vocabulary and grammar. But when you open your mouth, you still sound like a textbook. Stiff, careful, not natural. Sound familiar?
Hailey, that feeling used to frustrate me every single day. I once spoke to a friend and used perfect full sentences. I am going to the store. Would you like to come with me? And she just smiled politely. It didn't feel real.
That gap between correct English and natural English stops so many learners from feeling confident. But today, we fix that.
Welcome to Everyday English. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Hailey. We're so happy you're here with us today.
If this episode helps you sound more natural and human when you speak, please like this video and subscribe to Everyday English. It really helps us reach more learners just like you.
Okay, Ryan. Today, we're talking about the small things that make a huge difference. Contractions, reactions, natural phrases, and the music of real English. Let's go. Now, I know exactly what some of you are thinking right now. I already know the grammar. Why do I still sound like a beginner when I speak?
Hailey, I ask myself that same question for years. I felt stuck between knowing the rules and sounding like a real person.
And that frustration is completely normal, Ryan. Almost every intermediate learner hits this wall.
Let me slow down here for a second and say something honest. If your English still feels a little stiff or careful, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're ready for the next step, the step that turns correct English into natural English.
Today, there will be no pressure to be perfect, no heavy grammar rules, just practical, real-life tools you can use immediately.
Mistakes mean you're trying. Trying means you're already moving forward. Let's start with a story, Hailey. I love starting with stories, Ryan. Let's go.
So, Hailey, let's get into the actual tools. What is the very first thing that instantly softens textbook English?
Contractions, Ryan, hands down. High-level learners often speak using full words because they want to be accurate. They say, I am not sure. It is not working. Or we will see.
Exactly. And while those sentences are 100% grammatically correct, native speakers almost always contract them in conversation. I'm not sure. It's not working. We'll see. It immediately sounds smoother and less rigid.
Right. Think of contractions like grease on a wheel. They make your speech flow without sudden stops. But there's another thing learners avoid because they think it's a mistake. Filler words.
Ah, filler words. Words like well, so, you know, I mean, or even a quick Many teachers tell students to avoid them completely. But Hailey, if you never use any fillers at all, your speech can sound like a recorded voice prompt.
Exactly, Ryan. Natural speakers use small fillers to gain a split second to think, saying, well, I mean, it's not ideal, you know? Sounds vastly more human than sitting in total silence or robotically blurting out a pre-memorized sentence. The key is balance. Don't overuse them, but don't fear them either.
That brings us right to
Yes. In real English conversations, listening isn't silent. When someone tells you a story, you don't just stare at them until it's your turn to talk. You react. Right, Hailey. We use small verbal reactions, what linguists call backchannels. Like, oh, really? No way. That's wild. Or simple agreements like, makes sense and totally. Imagine I say to you, Ryan, I missed my bus this morning, so I had to walk 3 miles in the rain. If you just stay quiet, it feels awkward. But if you jump in with, "Oh no, are you serious?" the conversation comes alive. It shows empathy and keeps the energy moving. You're not just reciting English, you're connecting in English. Exactly. So, listeners, start using contractions today. Embrace a relaxed filler word when you need time to think, and always react actively when listening. Up next, in part 3, Hailey and I are going to look at phrasal verbs, polite phrasing, and the rhythm of English speech. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to part 3. Now, Ryan, now that we've covered contractions and active reactions, let's talk about the phrases that native speakers use unconsciously every single day, starting with phrasal verbs.
Oh, phrasal verbs. Haley, so many learners freeze up when they hear that term because they think it means memorizing long grammar charts.
But in reality, phrasal verbs are just everyday shortcuts. Instead of using stiff words like discover or invent, natural speakers say figure out or come up with.
Exactly. Instead of saying, I need to discover a solution to this problem, just say, I need to figure this out. It instantly shifts your tone from an academic paper to a natural conversation.
And it works the same way with politeness, Ryan. Intermediate learners often think being polite means being overly formal, saying things like, I would be extremely grateful if you could assist me. Right. While that's polite, it feels a bit like you're writing a formal business letter from 1850. In daily life, we soft land our requests with gentle phrases like, do you happen to know? Or, I was wondering if you could help me for a second. It's warm, polite, and completely relaxed. Now, moving into section 6, this is my absolute favorite topic, the music and rhythm of English speech.
Sentence stress. Haley, this is where so many speakers sound robot-like without realizing it. In some languages, every syllable gets equal weight and time, but English is a stress-timed language.
Precisely, Ryan. We stretch out the key content words, the main nouns, verbs, and adjectives, and we rush through or shrink the small connecting words like of, and, to, or for.
If you say, I am going to the store, giving equal force to every single word, it sounds mechanical. But if you stress the core beats, I'm going to the store, the rhythm instantly clicks into place.
And along with rhythm comes emotion. Don't be afraid to let your voice go up and down to match your feelings. Words like, honestly, to be fair, or I have to say, sound infinitely better when spoken with natural inflection rather than a flat, monotone pitch.
A calm, expressive tone carries the meaning far better than perfect grammar ever could.
Absolutely. So, listeners, start adopting everyday phrasal verbs. Use gentle phrases for politeness, and let your voice ride the natural rhythm of the language.
Up next, in our final section, part 4, Haley and I are going to bring all of these tools together in a real-life conversation example, followed by your daily action plan and quick recap. Stay tuned.
Welcome to part 4, the final chapter of today's episode. Ryan, let's put everything we've talked about into practice. Contractions, natural fillers, backchanneling reactions, phrasal verbs, and sentence rhythm. Love it, Hailey. Let's do a quick, realistic demonstration. Imagine we're casually planning a weekend get-together. You start us off. Hey, Ryan, I was wondering, do you happen to have any plans for this weekend? I kind of want to get out of the city for a bit. Oh, really? Honestly, that makes total sense. I've been stuck inside all week working, so I could really use a change of scenery. What did you have in mind? Well, I thought about heading to the lake, but I figured out it might be a little bit chilly.
So I was thinking maybe we could check out that new cafe near the hills instead. No way! That sounds amazing! By the way, I ran into Sarah yesterday, and she mentioned wanting to join us next time we go somewhere. Should we bring her along? For sure! The more the merrier. I'll message her right now to see if she can make it. Perfect! I'm really looking forward to it. See how smoothly that flows, listeners? Exactly! We didn't use stiff academic phrasing. We used relaxed contractions, reacted to each other naturally, and let the rhythm of the language do the work. So, how do you put all of this into action starting today? Here is your quick 3-step daily action plan. Focus on just one element per day. Today, practice using contractions. I'm, it's, will in every sentence you speak or write. Pick 2 new phrasal verbs, like figure out or look forward to, and use them in casual contexts instead of formal textbook words. Practice active listening reactions. Oh, really? Makes sense. Totally. Whenever you watch English videos or podcasts. Remember, you don't need to be flawless to sound natural. Perfection is boring. Authenticity and connection are what real communication is all about. You've got all the tools you need now. Keep practicing, stay relaxed, and celebrate every small step forward. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on Everyday English today. If you enjoyed this series, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below sharing your favorite new phrase. You're doing better than you think. Keep it up, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.